And then he went on vacation during the season. I'm starting to think Coach Prime Assistant at gmail.com is not a real assistant coach.
Once upon a time.
What did you say? The billionaire sued the coachman?
Yeah, the billionaire sued his
Did you say
own
that right?
fan base.
And his checks bounced when he was trying to buy the team.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Gentlemen.
That was the best one yet.
That's right. I'm back. My voice only took a month.
Dandy.
It only took a month. But, you know, I'm back. It's because I had a bye week last week, so no yelling.
Guys, episode 60. 60. Can you believe it? Welcome to the Juice Boys Show for the 60th freaking time. Three brothers-in-law. I'm the third turd, Cody. We got Chris and Joey. Guys,
Hello.
love you both so much. We were so stupid. We started a sports podcast over a year ago, and no one has shut us down yet. We're waiting.
We're waiting on that cease and desist.
It hasn't happened
really
yet.
hard.
Shows drop every Friday. It was a little early last week. Let us know if you liked that, if that was cool or not. But be sure to follow on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all your latest fun piece of sports content. Guys, this show's blown up like NIL and the UNLV quarterback.
Oh, my God.
What
a disaster.
No.
We will talk about it here
So
soon.
bad.
But guys, our 60th episode. I love you both so much. I've missed you. Can't believe it's been over a year. What are we drinking to celebrate the big 60, the big round number? What are we consuming, guys?
One of these special milestones that makes you really think about how far we've come. Makes you want to mix up your drinks a little bit.
Or how little we've come.
Yeah, if anything, we've gone backwards.
So, you know, I started this with mixing it up every single week, and then my bank account did not like that. So I'm just going back to my old
sense.
tried and true, the old fashioned. Look at that color in that.
Ooh, good color.
Beauty. Nicely
That's a
done.
good one with my Maker's Mark.
Ooh, lovely. Beer chaser?
Listen.
What's the,
Oh, the Beer Chaser
what's
is
the greatest
still-
beer in America?
Oh, it's still the oldest brewery in America. I'm still plowing the Yinglings, baby. When you get a case of 48, and that's going to last you a while. So
Joey's getting
mannequin.
consistent now. He's getting consistent.
I had to bust out a little something special. This was Joey's Christmas gift to me.
that's
Aberfeldy
right.
Highland
How do you
single
still have
malt
that?
Scotch whiskey.
That a
I
boy.
have so many. Like I have too many bottles of whiskey. Like I got to keep them all in rotation, and so they all like wind up lasting a really long time because I refuse to ever drink one of them all that consistently.
Joey, I didn't
outside
get a
of like
bottle.
my everyday goer.
Why didn't I get a bottle, Joe?
You did. It was the Elvis whiskey that we.
Oh,
drank.
that's gone. Yep, that's
Yeah,
gone.
we drank
Yes,
that.
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's,
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. I think we
Guys,
drank it that night.
Yeah, I think that's why it did not.
It didn't
last.
make it past. Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't make it past the pop of the bottle. Guys, I was in Michigan for a wedding with both of your wives.
That's
It was an
right.
incredible
I
experience.
know.
It was one of those weddings where I was the lowest net worth individual there by about 50 miles.
So what would I have
Congratulations.
been? Holy hell!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just waiting for this, for someone to come base 6.
Joey and I got escorted out by security. Actually,
Yeah, they
we
wouldn't let
weren't.
me
We're
in.
not even allowed to bump shoulders.
I was
with
sneaking.
them.
Yeah,
That's the fact.
I had my W-2 ready. Of just like, if they're going to look at it, I'll just see myself out. It was in a beautiful wedding. It was incredible. My wife did an amazing speech. She was the maid of honor. It was a wonderful experience. Got to hang out with both your wives.
Way to
a
go,
lot.
Cody's wife.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. Got to sit on the dock, Lake Michigan. It was cold, but invigorating. It was
Did you
beautiful.
jump in?
I do want it
in.
to be said, I did try and twist my wife's arm. So for those of you who remember when we were talking shit about Cody hating on it being chili season already, and I threatened to mail Cody an envelope full of chili,
Yeah.
I did try and talk my wife into bringing an envelope full of chili
Yep.
in her checked bag, and she hated that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that wouldn't work. That'd be terrible.
Also, first,
It'd
I
be
got
hilarious.
two side stories. I would like to proclaim chili season as of this week, guys. Bravo.
It wasn't up to you.
1 week later. Okay,
Yes,
so now
that's
okay.
it. We
Yeah.
made chili this week. It is now
Oh,
chili
because
season.
you made it. Now
Yes.
it's okay for it to be chili season.
Yes, sir.
Well, and everybody
I
else does. You know, in Colorado, it's green chili season every day. So you're just thinking
true.
about a different type of chili.
I'm the chief of chili, baby. That's what we're calling it. I just made that up. How about that? Also,
That's what you're calling it.
That's not going to be your nickname, man.
oh,
That's
come
not
on,
gonna-
damn
that's
it.
not gonna
I'm still the third term. Come on.
You're the
yeah,
chump
chief
of chili.
Also, open bar for 3 separate events for 3 days. So I had 3 days of an open bar. The
Thank God I
well
didn't
was
go.
Makers in Woodford.
Oh my!
It was one of those types
Delicious.
of weddings. And we had a bonfire at the very end. And one of the groomsmen figured out that they just left the whole bar, like, not packed up.
Like unattended?
unattended and
Oh
in
my
close
God.
for the night.
Dangerous.
He walked over to give me a shot of Woodford, and he's like, if you just go over there, go get yourself some.
They'll do it.
I walked over there, and an unopened of Woodford Reserve is what I'm drinking this evening.
You just took it home with you?
Brought it home with you?
You
Got a boy. Way to go.
Also got a whole bottle of Bombay gin. Just stuffed that suitcase full of whatever I could grab. Hopefully I don't miss it. Hopefully I don't get arrested, but
Yeah, they're like, who do we think stole the booze? Probably the guy that was the poorest amongst us.
yeah,
Yeah, that would be a good
that
call.
was probably it.
Why did we let him in again? We should have known he had sticky fingers.
That was exactly it. I'm like, guys, you guys didn't lock this up. This is on you. So that's what I'm drinking. A little Woodford Reserve to celebrate our big 60. I didn't pay for it, but it's good.
That
It's
makes
good
it even
stuff.
better. Makes
Good
it taste
stuff.
even better.
Yes, sir. Guys, we got a
how you know
sports
it's
talk
good.
in college football, NFL. We have a big potato squeezes of the week. Big tot picks at the end. Let's jump into our 60 freaking episodes. Let's start with college, shall we?
Okay.
Let's talk about Travis
do
Hunter.
it.
I want to throw this out to you guys. Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I think he's
Why?
considered
Okay.
like the top 3 cornerback in the world or in the country in college.
Yeah.
Top
Yep.
5 receiver. Should he play both in the NFL? Should teams want him to play both in the NFL? Or should he stick to probably receiver because he'd get a lot more money? They're just now starting to talk about it. Like someone's going to have to take him. How would you handle the Travis Hunter phenomena?
Here's what's going to wind up happening. Travis Hunter is going to wind up being a top draft pick. I still don't think he's deserving a top 2, but lucky for him, a team like the Panthers, who will wind up being in either number 1 or number 2 spot, will be desperate for a sideshow to entertain their fans who are furious and ready to burn down the entire stadium. And so I think that he's going to wind up getting drafted to a team that is happy to have a sideshow rather than an actual producer. And so, yeah, he'll wind up going and getting his ass banged up for a few games, learn his lesson, and then decide which side of the ball he's going to settle in on.
So you don't think the team would do it smartly? It would literally be just to have a guy who it wouldn't be best for the team. It's just for the sideshow of it.
This whole idea of not allowing guys to go both ways is over. With now, it's a different sport. It's Shohei Ohtani. If you're good enough, why are you keeping people from doing it? All right. Now, Dion was definitely good enough to be a W wide receiver like all the time. All right. That was just still in the time where it was just like, I don't know, can we? This dude is not proving that 120 snaps a game is too much for him.
That is,
Like,
isn't that crazy too?
It's mind blowing. Like he does not look any bit slower in the fourth quarter than he does in the first quarter
At all.
And the catches that he makes and the defense that he does in the fourth quarter in crunch time. Why not? Well, okay, if you want to play him as your third receiver in a nickel corner, so you can play on both,
That's
or have
true,
him
yeah.
come in as a slot receiver and your shutdown corner, so he only plays like a third of the offensive snaps.
A small package for him.
He needs to be on the field. I mean, this kid is unfreaking believable. And that's coming from someone who despises CU and hates talking about CU. But my God, he is one of the greatest talents we've seen in a long time. The catches he makes, I can't believe that he is ranked lower as a receiver than he is a DB. I mean, it's like his hands and his routes are just phenomenal. So until he proves that he can't do it, why not? Use him as a rookie, use him everywhere. Use him everywhere. And it's just like I
think it's about how they do it, though.
The Patriots are looking like they'll probably be on the top picks too. I know I'm worried about starting 1-0 and then 2 losses in a row. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about it. So I can see them being up there. If Drake May's legit, bring him in, baby. That just use him everywhere. I would love
I think
it.
you said that once a week. If Drake May's legit, I think that's about a once a weeker.
It's
that's
still
fair.
a big if. It's
How do you
still a big
also
if.
pay the man? I don't know how they pay
See,
Dion.
that's exactly it. Is you're not going to get paid for playing two sides of the ball. Like
He will
you're
when
gonna
he
wind
reaches
up
free
getting,
agency.
you're going to wind up
Not as a
getting
rookie.
paid pretty well. But like at the end of the day, you're taking double the hits, you're taking double the snaps, you're putting double the wear on your tires.
One less player, you got to play. You got to pay. Look at that. They
Yeah,
decided
that's
to give
all
Shohei 70.
advantageous to the team, not to him. They're not going to be like, congratulations, you get both paychecks now.
Or does he play both so he's not as good as he would be if he just played one? Are you getting like
No,
a B
that's
player?
exactly it. It's the same issue that the 49ers ran into with Deebo Samuel. Like we want to pay you
True.
as a running back, even though you're a running back / wide receiver. You're not good enough as a wide receiver for us to give you top tier wide receiver money, but we'll split the difference. We'll find something kind of in the middle there, but you're not getting the full paycheck that you're actually earning by taking those extra hits, by putting yourself on the line and reducing your own longevity in the league.
That's right.
Guys, that this crazy Matthew Sluka story just broke literally like, I think today.
Yeah,
Shooting on
a couple
a
hours
Wednesday
Started
today.
breaking like 12 hours ago.
UNLV quarterback announced he's leaving the team after his third game. He's also 3-0. He's
Yeah.
going to use his redshirt year because UNLV promised him a lot of money.
$100,000.
$100,000 through
According to him.
conversation. I guess he wasn't getting a dime of that after conversations and talking. So he decided to leave the team, keep his redshirt year. He was at Holy Cross for 4 years, so he had one more year of eligibility, which I just learned that like right before we hit record. So he had one more year, and he's trying to save it. He's going to go somewhere else, try to make a little bit more money. This is Wild West shit, guys. What do we think of this?
This is what I expected to happen with NIL. The last time that I heard UNLV was talking about basketball in like 1994.
Yeah.
All right, when they had
Undefeated, right? Yeah.
it was named like Tartanian or something like that, like the coach and Jerry and Larry Johnson and Andre Miller. I was like, that's the last time I heard about UNLV. They are not a powerhouse. I don't know where they think they have the money to be offering these players this sort of deals. So this is what happened. He's claiming that his NIL agent promised him $100,000. Now UNLV is like, what are you talking about? And they got into arbitration over the summer, and he was given $3,000 by UNLV to be there over the summer. They have not paid him since, and he's like, up yours, I'm out. Now
Wow.
this kid's good, and they're 3-0, and there is some
They're
people looking
legit.
that they might be in contention if he stayed for that Power 5
Yeah.
playoff spot. You know, it's just like, so this is bad. Like
This is
bad.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, not anymore.
Did you fellas also see that in addition to that, their starting running back also made the same decision? Today, the running back decided that he was going to go ahead and announce that he'll be transferring at the end of the season. He's going to redshirt for the rest of the season. I'm done. I'm out. Sayonara. It'll be interesting to see where this story is in a couple of days when this comes out on Friday. But like at present, the two camps are UNLV is saying, hey, he went out and knocked out Kansas and University of Houston and suddenly went and got himself an agent and now thinks that he is worth an awful lot more and is trying to strong arm us to give him more NIL money than he was ever offered. His side of the story is, no, you all offered me NIL money, never paid it, and so now I'm saying fuck y'all.
Wow.
The fact that they're two all-star offensive players right now are both bowing out at the exact same time.
With the same story.
The
Yeah.
running back just said he's been like really vague. I think it was due to promises unfulfilled, I believe is about all the more he said.
Interesting.
So it's odd. It's weird. And also like this is the new age of college athletics and also represents that like a lot of these NIL deals are handshake deals.
I was going to say, there's nothing
exactly what
written.
it
Are
is.
deals that are
Nothing's
being
written down.
promised, are being discussed, but there's no tangible written contract. There is nothing that ensures that. And so they're like, this is probably the next challenge of like, okay, how do you actually solidify this process so that people are getting what they've been promised and what they've been promised is being directly, tangibly like written down.
Gosh.
Now this could end
This
up
is
bad.
nuts.
This could end up bad for Matthew
It's
Sluka.
already bad.
No, I'm talking about this could end up bad for Matthew Sluka because this is UNLV's official statement. Football player Matthew Sluka's representative made financial demands upon the university and its NIL collective in order to continue playing. UNLV athletics interpreted these demands as a violation of the NCAA pay-for-play rules as well as Nevada state law. UNLV does not engage in such activity, nor does it respond to implied threats. UNLV has honored
Okay.
all previously agreed upon scholarships from Matthew Sluka. UNLV has conducted its due diligence and will continue to operate its programs within the framework of NCAA rules and regulations, as well as Nevada state laws. So it sounds like they didn't do anything wrong. Yeah.
Like NIL is supposed to just be like, here's what we will pay you to come and be one of our players. Like, to my knowledge, thus far, it's not been able to be dependent upon like product on the field, like how
that's where
NFL
it gets-
contracts are structured, where like there's incentives and what have you. Like NIL is supposed to just be like, you're on this squad. Here's what you get for being on this squad.
Did we just stumble upon the next level of this shit?
It is.
like
This
actual
is
Pretty sure we're the
contract
first to
incentives?
mention it.
Yeah. This is like, and it's crazy. This
Christopher,
is
you just
UNLV,
nailed it.
but, yeah. So-
Quarterback hits 10 touchdowns. He makes $250,000 from. Oh my god!
Yeah, versus like
Holy
versus
shit.
then meanwhile here's Oklahoma State like, hey, you can just Venmo us directly. Here's our fucking QR code. Like,
on our
it is-
helmet.
Just send
like,
us
we
money.
will look back on these days and be like, how did football even like manage to
How did it
exist? Like, this is the
exist?
Wild West era.
Not to be outdone,
college
Tennessee's
football.
adding a 10% talent fee to all their ticket prices. That goes straight to the NIL
Oh,
That was
box.
announced a
My
week ago.
God.
Yeah, I think we
right?
just missed it last week. So now we have the Venmo QR code, or we have the QR code on the helmets for someone, and now we have a 10% tax that goes straight to the players. Guys, let's talk about the original guy. Chris, I wanted to get your thoughts. Reggie Bush is suing the Pac-12 and NCAA
Good for him.
the money he never
love it.
received
All right,
when
good for him.
the NCAA was making bajillions of dollars on him and Matt Leinart and Lindale White, that whole crew back in 2004?
Yep.
Electric. He's now suing the Pac-12 and NCAA for lost NIL funds. Where does this go? Is it the right move on his part? He
It
didn't get
goes
his Heisman
nowhere.
back.
It goes nowhere
think?
but publicity. It goes nowhere but
is-
putting his name on everybody's mouths. Where does it go? Like, could you imagine what would wind up happening were a court to rule that, like, yep, previous collegiate players are
No,
also
the precedent
owed.
would blow.
Yeah,
up.
exactly. It would just like, okay, now everybody come and dip into the well, and let's see how quickly the NCAA goes tits up. Let's see how quickly like the
This whole
entirety
thing.
of college athletics is without is they're down to nothing, and so
Just a
so I-
committee in a room with a folding table.
yeah, like I
That's about it.
think that he's right. I stand with him ethically and morally, but as far as the precedent, like, it's going to wind up going nowhere. It'll wind up being dismissed.
Almost 20 years, or 20
think
years
it's-
exactly. Oh,
yeah,
shit,
But
guys. We're
you just
old.
said the precedent. He's setting a precedent. He's going to be able to test this market. I think that maybe he might not get it, but I think people in the future, more recently, I think they
Who else was as big as Reggie Bush to deserve something
Cam
like that?
Newton.
Yeah, but that won that 1 year too.
Johnny
That was it, but
Manziel,
it-
that's a
Manziel
man
was
who
huge.
never earned
Manziel.
a dime.
Tebow, Baker was huge in college.
Yeah, RG3 was big,
So there's
but I feel like Reggie Bush was
Reggie Bush was it,
right? I mean, he was
like he was
yeah.
he was it. He was like the Bo Jackson, like one of the greatest college football player we've ever seen. I mean, I honestly probably still say that Reggie Bush might have been the most electric college football player I've ever watched. It was
get
just
down with
he just did everything. And then also a player like Ted Ginn. Remember how freaking good
Ted
Ted
Ginn
Ginn
Jr.? Yes,
was
I
at Ohio State. I mean, it was just like
Jameis
he had a good.
Winston was all of FSU. He
he
was
won the
that
Heisman.
entire
Yep.
team.
Guys, I don't know where this goes. I think I'm with you guys. I don't know if it'll actually happen. It's been 20 years.
I think it's going to affect players more on the players who dominated in college and didn't do well in the pros, like Troy Smith from Ohio State, Jason White from Oklahoma. Like all these players that were just absolute ballers. Ron Dane back in the day. Monty Ball. These players that just never paid off. I think that's where we're going to see the lawsuits coming because they made their colleges so much money.
Really
All right,
crashed
guys,
and
let's
burned
jump
there.
into the NFL. I think we just broke NCAA. I think we just found the next level of this hecticness.
It is.
And if the
This
Reggie
is
Bush
starting-
shit happens too, NCAA,
It's over.
NCAA's in trouble. Guys, Andy Dalton is him.
Yep.
Hell
Trevor
yeah.
Lawrence is not.
No.
Who would have thought
Never was.
we would ever say that? Who had Trevor Lawrence on their bingo card being fucking terrible for the money?
Not
Oh my
5 years
God.
ago. Not 5 years ago. I didn't. Not 2 years ago.
I mean, that's
You
the
know?
thing is like, I almost want to be like, he just needs to get out of Jacksonville. It's time for Jacksonville to move on from him to move on from Jacksonville.
Well, they just signed that massive contract.
But he just signed on for ungodly amounts of money that no one will be willing to pick up that contract. And I think now is a good time to be like, hey, let's get you out of there. See if you can go on for something else. Go, move on to the next team and see what you can do elsewhere. And instead here now they're just shackled together. They're two feuding siblings now wearing a giant shirt. They're just forced to be together.
Wait,
In his defense, Christian Kirk is his number one. I mean,
they paid him like a number one though. That's the weird. They have some weird contract situations.
And Gabe Davis is his number two. Gabe Davis is a good three. And it's just like
he's an okay 3 at this point.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how much this is on him. Is Travis Etienne an every down back? No,
I thought he was, and then it's like something.
I don't know. You think about his team a couple of years ago. Think about he started 8-3 to start the season last year, and they went on the shitter. So I don't know how to feel about Trevor Lawrence, but he's not him right now.
No, and he's had 8 straight losses, guys. I think 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Yeah,
in those games. So he's averaging he's doing the Josh Allen, a turnover a game right now. But his line's not helping him either.
3-0 and kicking ass right now.
He is kicking absolute ass. You know who else is kicking ass?
Andy Dalton.
Oh, I was going to say
fucking Dalton.
Dude,
give him his time, guys. Let's talk about Andy Dalton.
Before Josh Allen did it on Monday night, Andy Dalton was the first 3 touchdown, 200 passing yards in the first half of the season.
Great segue, Joe. Beautiful segue.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was professional podcasting right there.
Wow. Yeah. Look at us go.
Yeah.
Wow. And Bryce Young was on the sideline. He did high five him after the game.
This was just like, God damn, Bryce, you suck.
And it was
did he hit him with the up high?
Oh.
Get up here, buddy.
Bryce had to jump for it.
You're not going to get there.
Also, the Raiders suck. It couldn't have happened to a better team. Antonio Pierce said
the Ravens. How did they beat the Ravens?
I don't know.
In Baltimore.
Sheer luck.
Sheer luck. Antonio Pierce, the guys made some business decisions, so we're going to make some business decisions. That's a badass quote. But also, you gave 40 up to the Carolina Panthers. Name 3 players on the Panthers, guys, that aren't Bryce Young.
Chuba Hubbard.
Andy Dalton.
Deontay Johnson.
Do we know
a third player?
Andy Thielen.
Adam Thielen.
There we go.
Thielen is on there.
Is Shaq Thompson still there?
Forgot his name.
We don't know a single player on the defense.
My boy Stephon Gilmore's still there.
Nope, he's gone.
I guess I have no idea.
Maybe Bryce will come on the podcast, tell his side of this. But also, he got shafted. He needs to get. We're going to talk about terrible owners in the
but then Andy Dalton played pretty.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If somebody else can step into your role and just crush like that, you got to realize that you're carrying at least partial responsibility.
That was the worst thing that could have ever happened to Bryce Young.
was that game happening?
Can you imagine what was going through his head watching Andy Dalton just eviscerate?
Well, he couldn't see over his coaches.
Looked like he wasn't breaking a sweat.
And just to interrupt Cody so he can't not introduce this, let's go Broncos. That hurt my soul seeing them destroy the Buccaneers because I like the Bucs. But my God, where the hell was that the whole season? Bo Nix looked good. The defense looked outstanding. They had no flaws in that game. So what the
Except
hell?
Now Singleton's out with an ACL tear,
and that's terrible because he is our
huge loss.
God, he is.
Or maybe Baker Mayfield just isn't it, guys. Like I've been saying.
No, he is it. Baker is good. Baker is good. They're 2-1. Baker is good. You bite your tongue when you talk about my boy.
Stop the show, guys. Stop. Breaking news. Breaking news alert. We have Christopher Pelletier in the field in Chicago. Another guy out there, Joey was out there a few weeks ago. Chris, can you hear us? What are you reporting?
Yeah, Cody.
Yeah.
Cody, I'm here in South Chicago at the most recent White Sox game where they had the opportunity to finally be relevant by being the worst team of all time. They had the chance to break the all-time losses record of the MLB.
Chris, how'd they do?
They won, Cody. This team sucks ass so much that they can't even lose correctly.
Chris, why do I hear booing in the background?
Cody,
You won.
this is on the verge of breaking out into an all-out riot. People are here in the stands, eager to see the record broken, only to be disappointed in an entirely new fashion by this team that week in and week out finds new ways of letting down the good people of Chicago.
Oh my gosh, Chris. Hey, hold on. Joe, we have more breaking news. God, we have two guys out in the field. Joey, can you hear us? Is Joey there? He's out in Oakland. More breaking news in Major League Baseball.
Tony!
Joey, can you hear us?
Tony!
Are you
Tony, I'm
okay?
here. My
What do you
God,
got?
can you hear me?
Yeah, where are you at?
Tony, it's mayhem here. It is absolute mayhem. The Oakland A's are in the middle of their last homestand in the history of Oakland. In the history of this horrifically, tragically hurt baseball team. Now, what we are seeing here is angry fans, if you cannot tell. Oh, hang on. Hey, stay back. I'm surrounded by extremely angry fans. The owner of the team, John Fisher, sent out a letter to the fans basically saying, oh, well, all right, we tried. We did our best. And you can hear the reaction of the fans. They don't want them to leave. John Fisher doesn't give a shit. All right.
Joey, how is the players' safety in their last series here?
So, no. Now, Cody, John Fisher sent out a thing to the fan. John Fisher sent out a thing to the fans saying, we want you here to support. However, he told his team to leave the field immediately after the game out of fear for their safety. Out of fear for their safety. There will be no fans autographs, no shaking hands, no final commemorative photos. Oakland Athletic Baseball will be over in the matter of hours. And
Joey,
God knows what is going to happen here. God knows what is going. People are ripping up chairs. They're pulling out the seats. This is
Joey, how's your Joey. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, everyone. We got it. Joey might be dead. I think a riot just got him. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see if Joe's alive on the other side. Thanks. That'll do it for the Juice Boy Show breaking news. We'll see you on the other side. All right, guys, we're so back, guys. Joey is alive and well.
Oh,
Christopher had no fans at his. They were just booing. They were celebrating. So I think Chris survived. Chris, are you there?
I made it.
He made it back. Joey, I see you. Are you okay?
I made it back.
Woo, guys.
As I
so
was
much.
swept
Sean,
away,
protect you.
as I was swept away by the field, I had a chance to talk to a few angry fans. Direct quote: "Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up and let the fans say their final goodbyes. Quit manufacturing bullshit to serve your make-believe narrative that the fans were the problem. Anyone with a set of eyes knows this all starts and ends with John Fisher and his team of incompetent executives that has shown they care nothing for this franchise, fans, or their employees." It is not going well in Oakland.
I don't think
think
so.
the Coliseum might burn tonight.
I'm so glad you both are safe, guys. And the best journalism is the one on the boots on the ground. Nice
Boots
job.
on the ground, baby. I almost
You
got
gotta
taken
do
away.
it. All right, guys,
stole my
squeeze
boots.
them. You like boots?
Yeah, they stole my boots, and I'm gonna need
no.
more.
They're still on the ground out there. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're somewhere out there on the ground.
What was that? That was the dumbest joke you could. What the
Real
hell was
1-2 punch here on the Juice
Oh
Boy Show.
gosh, that was Evan Costello, some bullshit right there, boys. Nice job. All right, guys, guess who's back for Squeeze of the Week? Someone we don't know. Coach Prime Assistant at gmail.com.
Oh,
He's slowly becoming a fan favorite. We have no clue who this
Still
is.
hasn't gotten a at cu.edu.
Still working on that, I suppose.
well, we don't know where he's going to be next year when Prime leaves. So
That's
I mean,
That's
you
true.
might need
Coach
to-
Prime's assistant travels with him.
Yeah.
Who
Always.
gives a shit which school? he
That's why it's Gmail,
drifted.
Chris, because they don't want to commit to a .edu email the whole time. So
I feel like Prime could afford his own website though as well,
I would
like
think
his own
so.
domain.
He sent something.
at prime.com.
Yeah.
Oh, he sent something in last week right after we recorded, since we did early. He said, welcome, Mr. Joey. Bookmakers love me, Linehan. Welcome to Moron Mountain. Oh, it's not a squeeze. It is
What is
a
his problem
nomination.
with me? What is his problem with me?
The Rams are going to compete with and even beat the mighty Buffaloes. Bet the over. Ha, 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 ha. All caps.
Wow.
That
Not my
did
The
give us...
delivery there really sold it.
Yeah.
Not my finest take. Yes.
No, that did give us a big laugh. As soon as I heard he put money on CSU, I told all our boys to bet big on us. So they were betting on themselves. That's a little Pete Rose.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my God. Well, here
Luckily,
we go. Now it's
Oh
on.
yeah,
Now
it's the Wild West. You can
so
do
here we go.
anything.
Luckily, we
You
have
can do anything you want.
Ipe, who's this? Ipe Muzahara and his bookie on speed dial. Oh, that's the Dodgers bookie guy.
That's right. Yeah,
deep
yeah,
That's
he's
right. Deep cut, real deep cut there.
was he the translator?
Yes, the
Prime's
translator.
assistant is connected, I guess.
I guess so. Shiloh drew a picture for your nomination. Please see attached. Personally, I think it's his best work yet. I'll keep the original. Probably my best bet for retirement fund someday. Maybe all the Juice Boys should be on there. Oh,
Shiloh.
Did Shiloh draw that with his
Shiloh drew
broken
he's in the
hand
hospital?
or his not broken hand?
For all the
Or
listeners, we'll
broken
make
arm?
this the show art for this week, so you will know exactly what we were talking about. Unfortunately, I was away last week, so didn't get to watch any of the football. The only thing I heard was that our Supreme Leader 100% agreed with Chris that the refs were truly awful. Clearly, some of that Nebraska big beef money had been greasing some palms.
Oh,
He's with you.
oh
He
man.
agrees. A CU person agrees
Yeah,
with Chris?
it was the refs that led to 6 sacks, I bet.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm now back from my very deserved vacation. Wait, hold on. Coach Prime assistant, you were vacationing during the season?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes
Sounds
sense.
like you're really phoning this in. I've got to imagine Coach Prime is not just job shopping, but also assistant shopping.
He can't be.
Go and watch your back, bro.
He can't be. That's not good. You're not at work during the season. Well, after my last response to your show was fed back to our Supreme Being, he told me not to show my face in the locker room for at least a week. I say potato. Either way you look at it, I got to spend a week relaxing in sunny Oakland, way less violent than our locker room. I only got mugged once. Dim regards, Junior Deputy Assistant to our Supreme Leader. P.S. You're all still banned. P.P.S. Dylan is not creepy. Let's just hope that he doesn't copy Mahomes' constant whining every time a decision doesn't go his way. Football can't have 2 elite whiners.
I mean,
So what I got-
it has several.
So what I got is Joey's on Moron Mountain for his CSU over, which was
Okay.
I'll take it.
Not
I'll
close.
take it.
It was
Yeah,
not
I'll
good.
take it.
But like for Moron Mountain, like that's like you missed on an over versus an under. That seems like not Moron Mountain material.
also a CU assistant agrees with the Nebraska fan, Chris. That's
Yeah, that just makes
got
me
some
feel
questions.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like any of that.
and then he went on vacation during the season. I'm starting to think Coach Prime Assistant at gmail.com is not a real assistant coach. Is that just me? Am I the only one? No?
Well, I
Just
thought
me?
he was the assistant to Coach Prime, not one of Coach Prime's assistant coaches.
The assistant to the assistant regional manager.
There it is.
Assistant
That's
to the-
probably it.
Okay.
Yeah, he was out getting coffee that week.
Thanks, Coach Prime Assistant. Joey, I agree though with that. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that's,
CSU did not
that's
hold their
not
own.
Moron Mountain.
No, they did
That's
not.
like
They looked
Moron Base Camp.
Yeah, they looked so.
You're going
bad. That
stage
was-
one, Moron Mountain. He
Yeah.
started the trek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hammer the over, boys. Yeah, that didn't.
We like screaming at TVs. That's why the Juice Boys always embrace the over. Like
Yeah, I mean,
screaming at the TV.
your line of thought wasn't great. Nobody's going to bother playing defense, and also only one of the team bothered playing offense, and even that was shaky at best.
That was
Actually, we
bad.
need to put it to a vote because it sounds like we're a broken piece of orange here. So, all in favor of nominating
Piece of
Joe
orange?
to Moron Mountain?
That's a no-go for me.
No,
Yeah,
me neither.
baby.
No,
All
no,
right.
that's not Moron Mountain
Staying
material.
off. Okay,
That's not
Joey,
enough.
you
It's not
survived this
enough.
week.
I survived.
You
I survived. Thank God.
You are a moron, but
Yeah.
not atop Moron Mountain. Joey, if people like Coach Prime Assistant at gmail.com, please show yourself too. Please.
Show yourself.
We got to know who you are. If they want to submit their squeezes of the week, which is our most outlandish takes that you guys have, read it on the show, or Moron Mountain, where we nominate the dumbest, most stupidity things of all sportsness.
Crushed it.
Sportsness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to Moron Mountain.
Sportsness. All
Joey,
right.
how can they do so?
Listeners, junkies, friends, enemies. Who cares? Listen to the show and
Enemies.
submit your most outlandish sports take or your Moron Mountain nominee. But you can submit, Chris, by emailing us at juiceboysshow.
Yeah, put me up there. I'm sure I've earned it.
That's right. Or send us a DM on Instagram at Juice Boys Show when it has that thick, stringy viscous pulp.
Ugh.
And we'll read it on the show. Who is sponsoring today's show?
Oh, hey. Fellas, I know we like to joke around a lot here on the Juice Boys Show. But tonight
Us?
we're here to talk about something serious, Joey.
I'm ready.
Something near and dear to our hearts. The very first altruistic fund started here on the Juice Boys Show to help the less fortunate. Today's episode of the Juice Boys Show is brought to you by the Juice Boys Fund to purchase the homeless athletics.
Yes.
Fellas,
They're renting an apartment in Sacramento.
Fellas, Oakland is no more, and the world watches with bated breath as we wait for athletics owner John Fisher to emerge from his hole and find out whether he'll be scared by his shadow, resulting in 4 more years of baseball in frigid Northern California, or an early spring to Las Vegas. But in the meantime, we encourage all of our wonderful and generous juice junkies to please remember the most important people in all this, the would-be professional athletes being dicked around by the worst owner in professional baseball.
That is very true.
An owner who is currently being blown out of the water by the likes of the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, it's very true.
That's
After
not even,
more than a year of fundraising, your 3 delicious, juicy hosts are worth a collective negative $500,000, meaning we're a mere $1.2 billion away from reaching our goal
Not bad.
of purchasing the homeless athletics and returning them to their natural habitat in Oakland.
Yes.
So please, Juice Junkies, reach deep. A meager monthly pledge of $100 million from both of our listeners would allow us the opportunity to purchase this once proud franchise in no time at all.
That's right.
The Juice Boys Fund to purchase the homeless athletics. High pastime, one pro team was actually owned by regular Joe sports morons rather than rich assholes.
It's very
what about
true.
poor assholes? Because that could be us too.
This would be great if they just picked the guy, like if like the city of Oakland could buy that team and they want to buy that team. And the mayor has been trying to find ways to actually get him forced out because right now there's not a guarantee they're going to Vegas.
No, they have no finance.
Nothing
plan
has
at
been
all.
put in place.
No.
So they are going to be playing at Sacramento, who the Sacramento River Cats had a higher attendance than the Oakland A's did this year. I think Oakland can sue the league and get that transferred back over. They have places that they want to go. John Fisher only proposed 5 locations that were absolutely dog shit. And nobody wanted them, including the city. They're like, we have other locations.
Right.
We have billionaires in this city who have offered to buy this team and keep them here. And John Fisher's like, we tried. We tried, you
We
guys.
failed. We failed.
We tried. Like, no, you
nothing.
did not try. So it's not over. Give us money and we will buy them and we will keep them in Oakland. We will do it.
That's a great segue, Joe. Thanks for doing that. We're going to go with our big potato, the worst ownership stories in sports history. Either their tenure as an owner, there's a lot of one-off situations that owners really showed their stuff as assholes, as morons, as just stupid business people. There's so many fun stories out
Terrible
there.
people in general.
Terrible people. This is
Mostly
in
that,
honor.
yeah.
This is in honor of David Tepper in Carolina, Reinsdorf in Chicago for the White Sox, as Chris had showed us before, and the old boy in Oakland, like Joey just talked about. So a lot of
John
bad
Fisher.
ownership going on right now. Guys, as you did all your research, what was your favorite sports owner stories? Christopher, you can start us off.
Fellas, I feel like I'm just taking this first one so that we can all take out some frustration on this first pick. Like I'm picking this on everyone's behalf. Let's talk about former Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was close to being a Coliseum.
Yeah.
He was
I mean,
close to
it's
being
just
off,
one of
yeah.
those where it's like I don't know that folks broadly know just how bad he actually what like everyone knew that he was a piece of shit and
Yeah.
ran his team, ran his franchise into the ground.
Here, I'll set
But,
you up, Chris.
like-
He was a local from Washington, so initially he bought a thing like, oh, local person, fan
He's
of the
only
team,
38 years old.
38-year-old billionaire. Everything's
Classic.
great. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Wound up owning the Commanders for 24 years, and in that time had a regular season record of 164 and 220, with a postseason record of 2-6. 24 years had two postseason wins.
And how many Super Bowls did they have before he took over? They had 3 with Joe
God.
Gibbs. Dominated. Absolutely dominated the 80s and early 90s. Then he came in and just two wins after
wins.
3 Super
Yep.
Bowls.
So this guy is such a massive piece of shit. Once upon a time, he sued season ticket holders who couldn't afford their tickets due to the Great Recession in the late 2000s.
Yep.
Once upon a
Is
time,
that- would you say the billionaire sued? Is
Yeah.
that what you meant?
yeah, the billionaire sued his
Did you
own
say that right?
fan base.
Did I hear
his
that?
own
Okay.
fan base that was experiencing a recession.
What?
For years and years, he received pressure to change the team's previous name from the Redskins to something not overtly racist.
Yes.
Refused
Refused.
for
He-
decades.
Oh, he-
Eventually caved, but in those multiple decades where he was receiving pressure to change, never actually thought of a team name, like never came up with something else, resulting in them becoming the Washington football team for 2 seasons before they could land on the Commanders.
the worst team choice they could have ever picked.
Yeah, garbage.
What is their nickname? The Commies?
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, yeah, the
The
Manders?
Washington Commies. Reportedly, the work culture under his tenure as owner was so bad, it included over 40 allegations of sexual harassment and sexual discrimination within the organization. And one claim, which was levied against him, reportedly resulted in an out-of-court settlement of $1.6 million paid by Snyder. And in addition to this, the dude was mishandling his finances so badly, the U.S. House Oversight Committee stepped in and conducted an investigation in 2020 in which they alleged he kept 2 sets of books. He
Yep.
gave one version of his books to the NFL to grossly underreport his ticket sales and his revenue, and then another set of books that actually showed his legit revenues were significantly higher. So he
Because
was
NFL
eventually
owners split everything. So he was skinning off the top, that bastard.
skimming off the top in the face of a bunch of other billionaires.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
so he's eventually forced to sell the team in April of 2023 to the tune of $6 billion.
Oh my
This is a man
God,
who's just
what a
laughing
piece
all
of
the way to the
shit.
bank and doesn't give one iota of a shit of how much he just left this team in ruins.
He
All-time
sold-
scumbag.
He sold peanuts at the stadium that were meant to be distributed to Independence Air, which had been it was an out of business airline, and he sold the peanuts in tinfoil bags that were expired. That's what Dan Snyder
my
did.
God.
He sold. Oh my gosh.
See, I've got another one that just pisses me off so much. You guys remember Sean Taylor, right?
Yes. Oh my.
Yeah,
he
one of the
butchered
greatest safeties that was ever played, and the poor guy only played 3 or 4 seasons in the NFL, and then he was shot and killed to death by his girlfriend in his sleep in his bed. All right, now this actually happened. So, the Washington Redskins at this time made a plush figurine of Sean Taylor that is one of the most horrifically racist and horrible looking things I've ever seen.
It was like a plastic mannequin.
And they sold it for $20. Now, their other plush offerings was a monkey for $25 and a superhero dog for $30. All right. And they sold a plush Sean Taylor figurine for $20 that made him look like a monkey. And this is also the dude who made millions on selling 9/11 memorial caps for profit.
Oh my gosh.
The dude
is just
never
an
found a way to
all-time
not make a
scumbag.
dime and found every way to not spend a dime. So
He said, "We'll never change the name. It's that simple. Never.
Put it in
you
all
can
caps.
use all
Never.
caps." Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Just
it's a
trying to find.
genuine-
Oh, he also butchered the RG3 whole thing.
Oh yeah,
Everything.
Never
He
put a
forced his
dime into
entire
his
career.
stadium.
Yep, forced him to play. He also has a $70 million mansion that is 140 acres off of the coast. So he wanted to cut down all 140 acres of trees so he could see the ocean. However, that was national forest. All right. And so he tried to go cut it down. The national park ranger who tried to stop him
Oh my
was
gosh.
was on vacation at his son's game at Air Force. His son was in the Air Force Academy, comes home and was arrested by U.S. Marshals. And so this dude had the park ranger arrested for stopping him from cutting down national forest trees. And guess what happened? He fucking cut him down.
Joe, can you
Is it
be-
worth even like talking about anybody? Like,
Oh, we should have
don't-
not started with that. Yeah.
terrible.
Joey, can you be Daniel Schneider and his resume?
The Indianapolis Colts. Okay, so now I'm
Okay.
saying Indianapolis for a reason because this story starts with the current owner, Jim Irsay, who is also a bona fide piece of shit. His father, Robert Irsay, who is even a bigger bona fide piece of shit, did one of the most unbelievable things that in the history of professional sports. In the middle of the night, okay, now, and I'm not joking, okay? This was literally the middle of the night, all right? He packs up and he moves his entire team from Baltimore to Indianapolis on the night of March 28th to 29th of 1984. So the people of Baltimore thought they had a team March 28th. March 29th, the famous picture of the Mayflower moving trucks is heading out of Baltimore, not knowing where the hell they're going. And then they end up in Indianapolis, and bam, there is a new team. All right. Now, this was crazy because the city of Baltimore said they didn't want to replace Memorial Stadium. When they said they were going to move, they were on the verge of passing legislation to allow the city to seize the team via eminent domain.
Oh, he had to get out.
Okay. Saying,
Wow.
no, they were right there saying they're going to take the team from him if he decides to move. What the fuck does this asshole do? Packs him up under darkness and leaves the next morning. And so the team woke up to no team. They're not in Baltimore anymore, so they can't sue. They can't get their team back by eminent domain, and their team was gone. All right. So
My
could
God,
you
I had
imagine
no
waking
idea.
up? Could you imagine waking up tomorrow, Chris, and the Denver Broncos are in Memphis? Just what
They packed up and headed to Winnipeg.
Yeah. That was actually, you're funny you say Winnipeg. That was actually a thing. They were talking about moving the Broncos in Winnipeg because they didn't have an owner for like 7 years after Pat Bowlen died. And so they were actually going to move into Winnipeg, be the Winnipeg Broncos. All right, but that didn't happen. This actually did. Fast forward to 1994. Okay, the Browns are in bad shape. Okay, the Browns are not doing well. They were in and out of coaches, blah, blah, blah. Their owner, Art Modell, out of nowhere, just says that they are moving. The city of Cleveland says that they are going to move, that they are going to sue him to keep him there. And he said, go fuck yourself. And he moved them overnight. He announced the move from Cleveland to Baltimore in the Baltimore Orioles game on the field in Camden Yards. So imagine being a Browns fan saying, oh, my team is gone. What the hell just happened? Where are they going to play? Guess where they put them? In the Memorial Coliseum in Baltimore that was deemed unfit for a team 10 years earlier than this.
Oh,
So the Browns became the Baltimore Ravens and played their first 2 seasons in a stadium that they said was unsuitable for an NFL team.
whoa.
God.
If I was a fan of these teams, I would just be like,
That's
I don't know.
not great ownership.
I don't know if it gets any worse. I don't know if it gets any worse than that.
And
don't know
Danny's
if it's
hold my beer.
That's scummy.
I have a single event that may get this guy in the conversation. Charles Kaminsky.
Okay, who is Charles Kaminsky?
He was the owner of the White Sox, guys, in the
Okay.
turn of the century.
No, Comiskey.
Kaminsky. What did I say?
Yeah, it was you said Kaminsky. It was Comiskey Park
Yeah.
for years and years. Yeah.
You know, potato, as our good friend Coach Prime, assistant
tomato.
at gmail.com.
My God.
So he underpaid his players so much that they had to wash their own jerseys. He sent them a case of flat champagne after his team won the fucking pennant.
Flat. So they're spraying it and nothing's coming out. It's just flopping
just
out
like-
of the bottle.
They're just kind of
Like a water
loosely
bottle
pouring it out.
Yeah, it's like my water bottle's leaking.
So this guy was such a bad owner that his team, the team that he owned, decided 8 of the players were going to throw the World Series.
Oh, that's right.
He was the owner of the Black Sox team. 8, I guess, shoe was Joe, so we'll go 7 for sure. Maybe 8 of his starters decided to flip him the bird. Say, we are not being treated right. We're not getting paid enough. We'll get paid more by these mobsters if we just throw this little World Series here. So he could be considered the worst owner of all time because there's been no event like that ever since. And he was the reason because it's flat champagne, wash your own jerseys. That's bad owner. That's bad. Guys, great first round. Let's do it again. Round number 2.
Fellas, let's talk about the current heir apparent to Dan Snyder. David Tepper.
Yes.
Hey.
He was mentioned earlier, but yes.
Piece of shit billionaire hedge fund manager who purchased the Carolina Panthers back in 2018 from the team's founder, Jerry Richardson.
Who was also a
And
piece of
during his tenure as owner, the team has a 31-68 record and has churned through 6 head coaches.
Jeez.
In
Since
6
2018,
In
boys.
6 years, right?
6 years.
6 head coaches in 6 years. We're not off to a great start here down in Carolina, boys. Tepper was responsible for the decision to trade away DJ Moore, his 2024 first-round draft pick, and a handful of other picks back in 2023 to the Bears so that they could move to the number 1 draft position so the team could draft Bryce Young instead of CJ Stroud. who went
Mostly
on
because
to
of
that.
him. He was the one calling the shot.
He
on this.
was.
the one who
Frank
won
Reich, Frank Reich quit because of it.
In 2022, he torpedoed the planned construction of a new team practice facility by blaming the host city and having his real estate company declare bankruptcy, leading to the half-built facility having to be demolished. And then last year, we all remember Tepper gaining online notoriety for throwing a drink at a Jags fan, resulting in a $300,000 fine, which I'm sure is the sort of money he happens to find when he just goes through his couch cushions.
But that was not good.
Oh my God.
Joey, now we're just
Drives me
getting angry.
insane.
What do you got for pick number 2?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
if
a really
you're-
just like infuriating, like
It's getting
shitty
worse.
things that rich people do to regular folks. Podcast
you-
now.
If you're angry right now, just wait until you hear about my.
Oh, I'm waiting.
So now this is going to be this is an older pick, and this woman is dead, but thank God. All right, now for
Dance on her
for
grave.
years,
Why don't we?
okay, for years,
God.
the Big Red Machine, the Cincinnati Reds, was one of the greatest baseball teams we've ever seen. Okay, now they during the 70s they absolutely dominated. Then they went through a transition of power, and this woman, this miserable piece of human trash woman named Marge Schott, ended up getting her chance of owning the Cincinnati Reds. Now it was from her husband, who was also an unbelievable piece of shit. All right. And then he died and he left her in charge of everything. So Marge Schott lived the remainder of her life completely alone because she was one of the most horrific people who's ever lived. Now I know this is
Wow,
an outdated
that's a
I
big
know this is
swing.
an outdated reference here, but the Goonies. Have you seen the mom in the Goonies that her 2 sons are the cronies they're trying to pull off like the heist, right? That mom who's also in Throw Mama from a Train, Marge Schott looks exactly like her. Okay, so you just look at her face and you're like, this is an evil woman. All right, so by the time she died, she lived alone in a 40-room mansion on a 70-acre estate. All right,
that's a dream.
And all she did was by
Leave
herself.
me alone.
She had to sit in a box by herself for every single game because the city ordinances of Cincinnati did not allow public smoking. So she rewrote the laws, and so nobody's around her. She sat by herself behind home plate with nobody around her for 20 seats.
So she could smoke at the
She
game?
could smoke.
Just to have a smoke.
In the stadium. So she could smoke. I want you to hear some of the things that she has said. Now, she hates men because she hated her husband, but she also hates women. She hates Jews. She hates black people. She hates gay people. So some of her famous quotes from press conferences are these following words. Some of the biggest problems in this city come from women wanting to leave the home and work. Okay,
Wow.
there's one. Another one. Sneaky goddamn Jews are all alike. Okay. There's another
Press
one.
conference?
Yes. I will never hire another N-word. I'd rather have a trained monkey working for me than an N-word.
Oh my
This
God.
was what was the question?
Like, how do you find your way
After
there?
she fired a black coach.
Oh my gosh.
Now, only fruits wear earrings. She would not allow any of her players to have facial hair or jewelry. Okay. And then this is where it really takes off.
Oh, we're just warming up.
This is
So-
just the appetizer.
Marge Schott was born in 1928, and she was a third-generation German-American. Multiple of her cousins fought for the Axis in World War II. Okay, multiple.
makes
So
sense.
she had a quote in a press conference that says, "Everyone knows Hitler was good at the beginning. He just went too far."
Went too far?
This is an actual
Gosh.
Like
quote.
he just went on to do the things that he was talking about doing at the
Right.
beginning. What
He
are we
laid
talking
it
about,
out. He
Marge?
laid it out pretty clearly, guys, Marge.
I don't know. We're arguing with a dead racist woman. I guess I can't expect there to be any
She was
sense.
unbelievably religious. She prayed every single night, and she said because sometimes God just knows what He's doing, and that was in reference to World War II.
Oh, don't say it.
So
Burn in hell.
Marge Schott.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep. Well,
There we go. There
Sounds
we
like
go. Marge.
humanity is better off without you, Marge.
I guess I'll squeeze my third one in there after Marge just ruined our
yeah. I mean,
Really
she died, and nobody was upset.
ruined our night almost as much as the sound of Cody sucking his teeth.
That disgusting click.
Oh,
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
I'd be super big fan of you not doing that again.
I'll wrap us up with John Spano, guys.
Oh,
Wanna know,
oh God.
do you want to know? He was trying to buy the
about John.
Islanders. Okay. Hockey team. We got to sprinkle a little hockey here. He claimed he was worth $230 million. That was a lie. He was worth $5 million, and his checks bounced when he was trying to buy the team.
Whoopsie.
So he was technically never an owner. So I'm squeezing it in here, but imagine going to pay for a team and the check actually bounces.
How did he get how did he get to that point?
I don't know if he had
do they get
references lying
the
for him, or-
typical 5% returned check fee?
Wow,
That
could you
seems steep.
imagine that? Yeah.
That seems steep. That would be all of your $5 million there, friend.
Imagine having to be the clerk to have to go tell the billionaire or millionaire, I guess, in this case, that, sir, your check just bounced.
Dude, this is like crazy. I've never
Imagine
heard
that.
of this guy.
But like,
This
how
is a-
ballsy
this
to
is a
write that
great
check?
story.
You know it's gonna bounce.
Yeah.
You wrote
That's
it. You know what's
true.
in that bank account. You know that like. Are you
That's
just
true.
hoping that magically they're gonna be like, we think he's good
John.
for it?
He was also sentenced to 6 years for fraud in prison.
Dude,
Oh.
for this thing.
6 years,
There was
he was
16 counts of forgery.
Is that what it was? Was
16
forgery?
counts of forgery. Yeah.
4 years in 2006 and 10 years for fraud in 2015. This guy just couldn't stop the fraud. Those damn checks kept bouncing.
I mean,
How do
it's
you
it's
do that?
remarkable where your Wikipedia page, the first thing it says, an American businessman, an admitted fraudster. So
He wasn't a
that
very
is-
good one either. He wasn't a very good fraudster.
I mean, what are you doing trying to buy a professional sports team?
Hey,
Like,
I
if you're
try.
gonna do fraud, like do it like under the
table.
radar, brother.
Yeah.
Like
The check doesn't bounce. That's like a juice boy move.
Yeah,
Check
it-
bounces trying to buy a team? Come on.
I mean, this is like that dude who said he was the greatest soccer player of all time and never played.
That's
this
a deep
is
throwback
that guy's
from
my
Christopher.
hero.
That's-
this is one of the greatest. This is one of the greatest con jobs I've ever seen
Oh my
attempted.
gosh.
Remember, Juice Junkies, you can listen to the show on all major podcast networks and YouTube. Please follow and rate the show and leave us a review through Apple. We encourage you to follow the YouTube and Spotify channels. Just put that subscribe button. Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. Join our Juice Junkie community. We'd love to have you. Cody.
Beautiful.
That just about does it for us. Chris, how do we do in picks last week in our first official gambling
Fellas,
kickoff?
I did bad.
we sure put it together a lot better than we did the first
Not-
time around, where we got
not
2
right.
out of 9. Yeah, let's roll them through. So the Wheel of Degeneracy, not so great. The only one they got right was Marshall plus 40.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's
they
go,
covered.
baby.
They covered.
Yeah, they went 1 for 2. Joe, yeah, not so great for you. 1 and 2. McCoy a little better, 2 and 1. And boys, I struck gold with a 3 and 0.
Yes, you did.
Hey,
Yes,
sir.
you did.
All right, fellas, I'm leading us off. Shout out to listener Nathan, big Vikings fan. Let's go Vikings plus 2.5 at the Packers.
Wanted it. I wanted it.
They're
damn
getting
it.
points? Oh, wow.
They're
That's a
getting
great
are
points
getting points.
against the Packers.
Well, I think Jordan Love might be back, but still, I think this could be a prove it game. I want to see Minnesota come out and win this game.
I love it.
do it.
Darnold's balling out right now. Give me
Yes,
the
he
hot
is.
hand getting plus. Like, hell yeah.
Let's
I guess
do
I'm
this.
next, guys. Give me Bills plus 2.5 at the Ravens. Ravens, they didn't
that's a
necessarily
good
figure it
one.
out last week, but Bills are hot right now.
Wait, the Bills are underdogs?
Yeah, plus 2.5. Sunday Night Football gonna be a
my
great game.
God, how are they?
Good pick.
They've just been steamrolling. How are they underdogs?
I can see the
That is-
Ravens even winning, but I just think that's gonna be a close game, no matter what.
So I'm gonna say that this Carolina thing with Red Rocket was a fluke.
Oh.
I don't see Cincinnati losing 4 in a row. So I'm taking Cincinnati -4 over Carolina.
They're 0-3, so they desperately need a win. Chris,
They cannot go 0-4. They cannot do it. So they need to win this week.
Fellas, I think I'm also liking that Bills-Ravens game, but I'm taking the over there. Over 46.5. I think both of these offenses are humming. Give me Bills, Ravens, over 46.5.
give me the under 37 on the Browns Raiders. I just don't see a lot of points getting scored in that game, guys. Gardner
What was it?
Minshew
Under what?
under
what?
37 flat.
That's pretty low, but
I mean,
think
unders are for cowards, but that's fine.
Oh,
I'm going to go with what was my favorite game of this past weekend. University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill paid James Madison University $1.8 million
Hell
to
yeah.
come in there and drop 70 on them, baby.
70
JMU
on their
won
head.
70 to
Crazy.
50. 70 to 50. So the way I see this, JMU is a 20.5-point favorite over Ball State. All right, JMU is going to cover 20.5 points against Ball State. They have to.
I love it. I can't believe you didn't pick this leading up with the Ball State and JMU. I'm taking over 57.5. Like, JMU put that up on a Power 5 team last week.
and I'm going to take
55.
USC 15.5 over Wisconsin. Wisconsin just doesn't have it this year. We got to pick against Kendall, Mike. Kendall and Joey, bring us home.
And then my final one, there's not going to be any offense in this game. New England, San Francisco under 40.5. There's no Christian McCaffrey. We'll see if hurt Debo can do something. We'll see if hurt Kittle can do something. The Patriots defense is decent, so under 40.5. Let's go.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, boys, Wheel of D-Gen time. As always, we pre-selected the games. We've got Browns at Raiders, Patriots at 49ers, in good old Fresno State at Dumpster Fire UNLV as our
Hey,
three picks.
quarterback.
Let's see what the wheel likes for the Browns at Raiders.
Cody Doll.
Home spread.
Joey.
I thought it was
So,
Cody.
It's Raiders -2 is the home spread. All right, up next we've got Patriots at 49ers. Let's give it a spin, see if we can give Cody a shot. Over 40.5. All right, and last but almost certainly the least, we've got Fresno State at UNLV, and Cody is parched. Let's see if we can get him a shot.
Oh, you son of a
We've got
gun.
under 49 flat. Let's go, boys.
Talk about flat. Let's have a flat ending to the show.
Just
Yeah,
done.
that's the only option that
We'll
we
just
had.
drizzle.
Drizzle.
That'll do, guys. Episode 60. We gave you everything we got.
That's it.
Ownership sucks. Billionaires suck.
They
They
do.
sure do.
Andy Dalton's okay, though.
And Red
Guys,
Rocket.
Andy Dalton's the guy.
Guys, 60 episodes. We cannot believe it. We want to thank everyone so much. Continue to follow on Instagram. DM us. Give us your stuff so we can post it. Keep following on all the places. Please tell your friends, your family. The support's been amazing. We can't believe it. Love, love, love. guys.
Love, love,
Love
Sixty
loves.
episodes of the
Always
Mods.
love loves.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.